Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. One of you guys wrote me an email not that long ago and requested today's video. You said, hey man, love the content. I love clones. And I was just wondering if you could make a video about some of the clones that are best suited for spring and summer since it's starting to heat up. But it got me thinking, yeah, actually, it does seem that most cologne fragrances are more fragrances that you'd wear during fall and winter time. Deeper, richer, sweeter fragrances. Oftentimes, fresh ones, really fresh ones, they don't get cloned as much. Unless it's just a huge hit, of course. So what I've done is I've gathered up 10 different fragrances here, and I'm gonna let you know what I think are some of the best cologne fragrances that are really fresh and good to wear during spring and summer. I've got all these linked down below. Feel free to check them out down there. And if you would like some codes for LuckyScent.com, MaxAroma.com, TwistedLily.com, or So Avant-Garde, here they are. Feel free to pause that video and check those out. Now, I do have to preface this video with saying that I don't have every clone in existence. I know it's crazy, but I don't. And I did just place a massive order for a ton of new clones I've never smelled. Maybe here in the near future, I'll do a follow-up with more freshies that you could wear during spring and summertime. Now, of course, the benefits of clones, they're cheap and they smell like something that's not cheap. Pretty nice. The first fragrance I'm gonna talk about is from Lattafa, and it's called Sucrat. S-U-Q-R-A-A-T. Now, this fragrance is a clone of none other than Acqua di Gio's Profumo. Let's give it a little spritz, shall we? Nice. Now, with all these clones, and this goes for any popular clone in general, there's a possibility that if you go check at Fragrance Buy or wherever you typically buy your fragrances, Joma Shop, whatever, that they'll be sold out. That happens very often with popular clones. They sell out, get them back in stock. It just keeps repeating. Don't fret. If something's sold out, it'll be back in stock before too long. Now, as I said, this one is a clone of Acqua di Gio's Profumo. It's gonna be right around 35 bucks US. And even though it's not one of these super cheap clones, it's actually a pretty good price point when you consider that Acqua di Gio Profumo is going to be getting harder to find and the price is going to be going up on that. And this does a really good job at capturing that Acqua di Gio feel with that little bit of incense there. Great people pleaser, very versatile, and a wonderful scent for spring and summer, and really fall and winter too. I mean, that type of scent you can wear anywhere. So the fragrance I'm talking about next is from Haramain, and it's Amber Oud Carbon Edition. Alternatively, you could go also from the same brand, All Haramain L'Aventure Night. And the reason for that is these are both essentially clones of the same thing, but done in a different way. These are both green Irish tweed types of scents. So L'Aventure Night is a little bit more aggressive off the top. It has this kind of powdery feel to it with that green vibe that green Irish tweed has. And it also has like this almost cooking sort of herbal feel underneath in the top, whereas Carbon Edition is like green Irish tweed if it were made with a slight metallic edge to it. Between the two, I actually prefer Carbon Edition. I think that the opening is easier going and the dry down of both of these really nice. And those are going to get you quite similar to green Irish tweed, as I said, from Creed. There are other fragrances that will also get you close to green Irish tweed. I could fill up probably a top 10 clones of green Irish tweed realistically, but those are the two that we're tackling here, and both of those are solid choices. Now I have an extra bottle of Carbon. One sec. Yeah, so I have Haramain Amber Oud Carbon Edition and L'Aventure Blanche, also from Haramain. This is a Silver Mountain water clone. I'll give both these away later in the video. Stay tuned for that. Up next is Maison Alhambra Porto Neroli. I've talked about these a little bit here recently because I got some more of them in. I already had a couple, but I got some more, and they're all surprisingly very solid. Obviously, this is a clone of Neroli Portofino from Tom Ford, and a very good one. Even copies the presentation very blatantly. And there are other fragrances by Maison Alhambra that are like Tom Ford Private Blend scents. So look through the whole lineup, and maybe you'll find one that's an alternative to a Tom Ford that you really want or really like. Neroli Portofino / Porto Neroli, perfect for summertime, a really clean, fresh, easy to wear. Similar bottle color on the next one, 9 a.m. Dive from Afnan. 9 a.m. Dive is not really an exact one-to-one clone any fragrance, but it's like an amalgamation of a bunch of different ones. So with this, you're gonna find bits and pieces of Bleu de Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent Y, Versace Dylan Blue, maybe even Versace Pour Homme. It's got a lot of different things that have come together to make this. Now, you could say, and I don't think that it's really inaccurate to say this, that, well, man, if you have to say it's this, and this, well, at that point, is it really a clone or is it its own thing? And I would say, yeah, you could absolutely make that argument, that it is kind of its own thing. But since it is an off-non, and since this is a list about clones, for this video, it's a clone. I think for me, what I pull the most from in this is going to be the Bleu de Chanel and the YSL, but those Versace's kind of make an appearance as well. Of course, all those scents that I mentioned are very good for spring and summertime, especially during the day, and this one is as well. The quality on it is very nice. I mean, this one goes right to bat with those others, and it's not out of place. Really wonderful fragrance. Doesn't get the same amount of love as 9 p.m., which is more a straight up Ultra Mall clone from the same house, same bottle style, same line, but this is just as good. After that, let's talk about one from Paris Corner Emir Citrat Essence. These fragrances, these clones, for whatever reason, are so intriguing to me because the bottle is kind of a rip-off of the Boucheron bottles, but then the fragrances are clones of Mancera fragrances, so it's just very interesting. We'll copy their bottles, but we'll copy their fragrances. That's big brain. They'll never figure out what we're doing. Citrat Essence is a clone of Citrat Boisé, Mancera's biggest, most popular men's fragrance. And even though the coloration of the fragrance is not close, it's this kind of sickly, I don't know, sea green kind of color instead of yellow. Even though they didn't nail that, they did a good job on the fragrance. It is more like Citrat Boisé with a bit of a twist. It really leans in on that sweetness off the top and it lingers for quite a while. But it is overall a very well done clone, and this is another one, kind of like the Maison Alhambra Tom Ford ones, where if you're looking for a Mancera alternative, check out what they've done because they may have a clone of what you're looking for. El Cielo. Now, this is a fragrance that does not get anywhere near as much hype as a lot of the other ones here, but if you're just looking for something that's going to smell extremely appealing in high heat, you know, something that has that sweetness that's really going to garner compliments, check this stuff out. Now, it's been compared to Invictus Aqua, but it's maybe not quite as bubblegummy sweet as Invictus Aqua or Invictus in general can be. It's got a very appealing melon opening, so that fruitiness off the top just really is going to put you in the mood of like being on a beach or being on vacation. Lingers for a long time and has just a great kind of magnetic compliment factor to it. Even though when you look at it, it does look, in my opinion, a little bit cheap, and it feels cheap too. This little piece here kind of wobbles. The cap doesn't really feel very good, but the fragrance itself smells great, especially for younger guys. This stuff could be a killer. After that, one from Lattafa, it is Rave Now. This one also interesting to me in terms of presentation. Has this rubbery design on the inside and a plastic outer shell, and it looks basically like a Dolce & Gabbana The One bottle. And it doesn't even say Lattafa anywhere on here. It just says Rave Now, but it's Lattafa. So what is this? Well, it is a big pineapple bomb when you first spray this stuff on, which is going to draw obvious comparisons to Creed's Aventus. Now, to be fair, there are many Aventus style clones that I could put in this video that would also do smashingly during spring and summer. So I'll just list some of those off. So L'Aventure from Alharmain, Off Non, Supremacy, Silver, and Not Only Intense, Club de Nuit Intense Man, and also Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited, Insurrection Pure 2, and also Insurrection Pure 2 Le Parfum, and also Insurrection 2 Sport. That's Aventus Cologne, though. And there are many other lesser known ones that I could put in here too, but that's enough for now. So yeah, this is Aventus-ish, but it is very concentrated on that fruitiness, on that sweetness from the pineapple in the opening. So it's going to be a great choice for high heat situations because it does scrub away a lot of the heavier undertones. Now, one thing that would be perfect with this, if you don't want to wear it by itself, you want something that has a little more gusto, a little more push to it, is you could use this to layer with other Aventus style fragrances that you think would do well with a big boost of pineapple off the top. You could layer this with them and then really have the best of both worlds. Club de Nuit Milestone. This is a clone of Millésime Imperial. by Creed. It has that great sea salty watermelon opening that really captures your attention right away, and it stays really close to Millesime Imperial from the opening into the dry down. This is one of those fragrances where when it came out, you really started to kind of reevaluate clone fragrances and how close they could get to the real thing and how well they could come across, like the quality of them. I've spoken about this before, but a lot of older clone fragrances, and I smelled a bunch of them before I did this video, they don't smell quite up to par. They've got a chemical kind of nature to them. They're not blended as well. They come across cheap, but that has changed here recently. And this is one of the fragrances that really made people stand up and take notice. So Millesime Imperial, you want an alternative to that, this is a great choice. And then the next Club de Nuit is this one, Club de Nuit Iconic. And depending on where you look, this may also be listed as Club de Nuit Blue, because the bottle's blue. And also it's a clone of Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. And with this being a clone of BDC EDP, it is the type of scent that realistically you can wear year round. Daytime, nighttime, doesn't really matter, but it shines especially well during spring and summer. And this is gonna be one of the best, if not the best, Bleu de Chanel clones on the market right now. And it is so unbelievably superior to what they came out with before, which was Armaf Tag Him. That fragrance is crap. It's also a clone of Bleu de Chanel, but it is not a good one. So with Club de Nuit Iconic, they got it right, and Tag Him just pretend it doesn't exist. Last fragrance is from Afnan. It's Supremacy in Heaven. So Supremacy in Heaven is sort of a mix of fragrances, but with one that stands very clearly as the most prominent. Silver Mountain Water by the House of Creed is what this is closest to, but with the black currant in here, the way it's used, it gives you a little bit of like Creed Aventus nuances around the edge of the fragrance. So to an extent, it's like a mix of those, leaning much more heavily toward Silver Mountain Water. And the Afnan Supremacy fragrances are actually all very good in terms of quality. So that's not the only one from the Supremacy line that's worth checking out. That's actually one of the lesser known ones from the Supremacy line, but a lot of the other Supremacy fragrances that aren't Aventus are more cooler weather. So there are 10, technically 11 different clones that work extremely well during spring and summertime. And like I said, I got a whole bunch more coming, so I may do a follow-up depending on how some of those shake out. If they're really bad, I'm not going to feature them outside of just telling you to avoid them in a future video. But if some of them are really good, I will put those with other fresh, warm weather clones that I have and make a part 2. So we'll see. Now let's do this giveaway. So here they are again. This is L'Aventure Blanche, Silver Mountain Water clone, and this is Amber Oud Carbon Green Irish Tweed clone. So again, 2 Creed clones. You know the drill if you've been around for a minute, but if you don't, here it is. You have to like the video. You have to be subscribed to the channel. So if you're not, hit the little button. Leave a comment down below. Otherwise, how am I going to know? How can I pick you? No comment. In the comment, just tell me, what is your favorite clone? Doesn't have to be a spring one, summer one, doesn't matter. Just what's your favorite? And give me about 2 weeks. I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, post it up on the community tab of my YouTube channel. If you're subscribed, you should see it. And if you're the winner, just reply to that post with the same account that you used to comment on this video. And then send me your shipping info and boom, I will ship it off to you. YouTube is full of scammers at the moment. You will probably get people in the comments of this video that pretend to be me and tell you to Telegram them, tell you to send them money, stuff like that. I'm not going to ask for your money. I'm not going to do that. Those dudes are scam artists. Report them to YouTube even though it won't do anything, and just block them. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Good luck with the giveaway. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.